As the conflict between Russia and Ukraine intensifies, it becomes increasingly clear how deeply the war is affecting both nations and their people. The recent capture of the Chasiv-Yarsk fortress by Russian forces marks a pivotal moment in this ongoing struggle, altering the territorial dynamics significantly. Ukrainian troops have reportedly vacated their positions at the fireproof factory in Chasiv-Yarsk, allowing Russian forces to gain control of this strategic point. This shift follows the Russian capture of Velika Novosilka, where they have extended their reach into territories west and south of Novikomar. Initial assaults by Russian aerospace forces in this area have led to the disintegration of Kiev's defensive lines, leaving many Ukrainian units in disarray and struggling to avoid encirclement. Simultaneously, Russian forces have launched a concerted offensive northwest of Velika Novosilka, with the aim of advancing towards Zaporizhzhia. Reports suggest that these forces have made substantial progress, gaining control over the western edges of the city. The offensive continues in the direction of Udachner and Kotlin, with parts of these areas already under Russian command. In Chasiv Yar, Russian troops have begun occupying the first high-rise buildings, marking another territorial gain and disrupting a crucial supply route for Ukrainian forces. Geolocated videos show Russian forces along the hills west of Ivanivka, continuing their preparatory maneuvers as they approach Kramatorsk. The previous week witnessed intense battles across several cities, with Chasiv Yar serving as a main fortress for Ukrainian forces in the industrial zone. Despite their determined defense, the refractory factory eventually fell, leaving Ukrainian troops with only weakened positions across fields and villages, stretching to Drushkivka and ultimately to Kramatorsk. With the fall of Chasiv, Russian shock troops now turn their attention to Alexeyevo-Drushkivka, a settlement strategically located between Drushkivka and Konstantinovka. Konstantinovka, one of the four major cities in the densely populated metropolitan region, lies further south. Meanwhile, another formation of Russian forces is closing in from the south, advancing through Toretsk. The battle for the city appears to be nearing its conclusion, with only a few streets in the northern suburbs still under Ukrainian control. Several villages remain contested as Russian forces press their advantage further north towards Konstantinovka. Concurrently, another Russian offensive is underway in the Donbass region, southwest of Konstantinovka, near Pokrovsk and Minogard. These developments have significant implications for the trajectory of the special military operation. Russian forces have bypassed Pokrovsk from the west, advancing along the railway to continue their assaults toward the city. Moscow's units have exploited a vulnerability in the eastern section of Pokrovsk, near Worstwichenka, slicing deep into Kiev's defensive lines and securing a critical intersection east of the city. Although the siege ring is not fully closed, the general outline is unmistakably visible, with Russian forces encircling the city in their typical fashion, aiming to force Ukrainian troops into a crossfire and compel their retreat. This strategy has been employed by Russia in numerous battles, and the pattern appears set to repeat itself in Pokrovsk. The persistence of Kiev's forces in shifting positions from semi-encircled locations to minimize losses has been a notable tactic. However, this time, a stark difference is evident. While last year in Avdiivka, Ukrainian brigades operated with a certain level of manpower, current units are primarily composed of exhausted troops and inadequately trained recruits. This presents a substantial challenge for Kiev's command, as many reservists are prone to abandoning their positions or deserting the front lines. As 2025 unfolds, Ukraine faces a series of operational crises, with Russian forces poised to exploit these vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, the situation around Bakhmut and Atmivsk becomes increasingly volatile. Russian forces have made significant advances in the industrial zone in the northern district of Chasiv Yar over recent weeks. Moscow's troops have achieved notable successes in the city center, with reports indicating they are nearing full control of the Nor district. The past 6 months have seen relentless fighting, with video footage circulating online showing Russian soldiers occupying the premises of the refractory factory. Battles for the industrial area have raged throughout December, culminating in Russian forces penetrating Pivnitny and consolidating their positions. Recent footage released by the Ukrainian armed forces illustrates the intensity of the conflict, capturing Moscow's troops launching assaults on Ukrainian positions in multi-story buildings near the Avangard Stadium. This footage highlights the precarious state of the defense line in Chasiv Yar, where Kiev's troops show signs of withdrawal from this strategic stronghold. As Russian armed forces continue their advance, the broader implications of this conflict loom large. The ongoing struggle serves as a stark reminder of the profound human cost of war, as well as the urgent need for diplomatic solutions. The resilience and determination exhibited by both sides underscore the complexity of this conflict, which has deep historical roots and far-reaching geopolitical consequences. In reflecting on these events, one must consider the long-term impact on the people of Ukraine and Russia, as well as the broader region. The war has not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape, but also altered the lives of countless individuals caught in its wake. Families have been torn apart, communities devastated, and futures forever changed. Amidst the chaos, the call for peace resonates more strongly than ever. As we conclude this exploration of the ongoing conflict, we are left with pressing questions. How can we move beyond the cycle of violence and towards a future of reconciliation and understanding? What role can the international community play in fostering a lasting peace? And perhaps most importantly, what lessons can we, as individuals and as a society, learn from this conflict to prevent similar tragedies in the future? These questions linger, challenging us to think deeply about the nature of conflict and the value of peace. As we ponder these issues, we invite you to engage with this content by liking and subscribing, joining us on this journey of exploration and understanding. Together, we can strive to build a world where dialogue prevails over discord and where the scars of war are healed through the bonds of shared humanity. Certainly, here's the continuation of the rewritten article. As Russian armed forces continue their advance, the broader implications of this conflict loom large. The ongoing struggle serves as a stark reminder of the profound human cost of war, as well as the urgent need for diplomatic solutions. The resilience and determination exhibited by both sides underscore the complexity of this conflict, which has deep historical roots and far-reaching geopolitical consequences. In reflecting on these events, one must consider the long-term impact on the people of Ukraine and Russia, as well as the broader region. The war has not only reshaped the geopolitical landscape, but also altered the lives of countless individuals caught in its wake. Families have been torn apart, communities devastated, and futures forever changed. Amidst the chaos, the call for peace resonates more strongly than ever. As we conclude this exploration of the ongoing conflict, we are left with pressing questions. How can we move beyond the cycle of violence and towards a future of reconciliation and understanding? What role can the international community play in fostering a lasting peace? And perhaps most importantly, what lessons can we, as individuals and as a society, learn from this conflict to prevent similar tragedies in the future? These questions linger, challenging us to think deeply about the nature of conflict and the value of peace. As we ponder these issues, we invite you to engage with this content by liking and subscribing, joining us on this journey of exploration and understanding. Together, we can strive to build a world where dialogue prevails over discord, and where the scars of war are healed through the bonds of shared humanity. Reflecting on the war's impact, it's crucial to acknowledge the profound changes it has wrought on both societies. The sustained conflict has led to not only geopolitical shifts, but also deep personal losses and societal transformations. As cities become battlegrounds, the civilian population bears the brunt, facing displacement, economic hardship, and a perpetual state of uncertainty. The international community faces a daunting challenge in addressing the crisis. Diplomatic efforts must focus on de-escalating tensions and facilitating dialogue between the warring parties. Humanitarian aid and support for rebuilding efforts are essential to alleviate the suffering and lay the groundwork for a stable and peaceful future. In this complex and evolving situation, the role of media and information dissemination becomes paramount. Accurate reporting and analysis can help demystify the conflict, providing insights into its causes and potential solutions. Engaging with this content not only raises awareness, but also fosters a global dialogue on conflict resolution and peace building. As individuals, we are called to reflect on our role in promoting peace and understanding. By supporting initiatives that foster dialogue and reconciliation, we contribute to a more peaceful world. It's a collective responsibility to ensure that the lessons learned from this conflict prevent similar tragedies in the future. Together, let us work towards a future where peace and dialogue prevail, where the scars of war are healed, and where the shared humanity of all people is recognized and celebrated. As we continue to explore these themes, we encourage you to stay engaged, informed, and active in the pursuit of peace and justice. Certainly. Here's the continuation of the rewritten article, following the style and themes of the previous sections. The unfolding conflict between Russia and Ukraine serves as a reminder of the fragile nature of peace and the devastating impact of war. As the battle lines shift and territorial control changes hands, the human cost remains a constant and tragic consequence. The shattered lives and communities serve as a powerful testament to the urgent need for a resolution to this conflict. In regions like Bakhmut and Atmivsk, the relentless fighting has left indelible marks on the landscape and the people. Russian advancements in these areas underscore the strategic maneuvers that define modern warfare. Yet they also highlight the destruction and chaos left in their wake. Urban centers, once thriving with life and activity, now stand as monuments to the conflict's toll, with infrastructure damaged and civilians displaced. The persistent nature of this war challenges existing strategies and tactics employed by both sides. Ukrainian forces, facing overwhelming odds, have had to adapt quickly to maintain their defensive positions. The resilience and ingenuity demonstrated by these troops reflect their commitment to sovereignty and self-determination, even in the face of adversity. Meanwhile, the international community grapples with its role in this conflict. Calls for ceasefire agreements and peace talks continue, yet achieving meaningful progress remains elusive. The complexity of the geopolitical landscape, combined with historical animosities, complicates diplomatic efforts. However, the global stakes of this conflict necessitate renewed vigor and creativity in pursuing peace solutions. As the year progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that a multifaceted approach is required. Economic sanctions, diplomatic negotiations, and humanitarian aid must work in tandem to address the various dimensions of the conflict. Moreover, the voices of those directly affected, the civilians caught in the crossfire, must be amplified and considered in any potential resolution. The role of media and information cannot be understated in this context. Accurate and unbiased reporting shines a light on the realities of war, countering misinformation and propaganda. By staying informed and critical, global audiences can better understand the nuances of the conflict and contribute to informed discussions about its resolution. In contemplating the future, it is essential to look beyond the immediate conflict and consider the long-term implications for regional and global stability. The lessons learned from this war should inform future policies and strategies aimed at conflict prevention and resolution. By fostering dialogue and understanding, we can work towards a world where such conflicts are resolved through negotiation rather than violence. As individuals, our engagement with these issues can drive change. By supporting initiatives that promote peace, understanding, and reconciliation, we can contribute to a more harmonious world. Let us remain vigilant and active in our pursuit of a future where dialogue replaces discord and unity triumphs over division. In closing, the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine stands as a testament to the enduring human spirit in the face of adversity. It challenges us to reflect on our shared humanity and to strive for a world where peace and justice prevail. Together, through dialogue, empathy, and action, we can work towards a brighter future for all.